What's up, guys? Welcome back. So, like I said last episode, if you watched it, I'll link it down below just in case you missed it. Don't want you to miss anything. But we're starting on a new frame. It's going to be relatively simple, and I'm going to probably just time lapse you through most of it. Not a lot of me talking. I want to get this one done quick so that I can get it up because I really want to start on my own personal one that's going to go with my truck. So, but in order to do that, we've got to knock out a couple frames that we can put up for sale. So, let's get started. I've already started bending, cleaned the metal there. Like I said, I'm not going to go anything super complicated. It's going to be relatively simple frame. It is going to be diamond tube because I had a bunch of it left over and I need to use it up. No need for it to sit here. So, going to get this started, get all this, got this bent tube. We're going to do a nice backbone, a big kick out, and then a forward, and then something real simple on the chain stays. Those last chain stays kicked my booty. So we're not going to go super complicated on the chain stays this time. So we should get this done in this video. So we might get a frame done in the video instead of being a series of videos that people watch. None at all. Alright guys, don't forget, visit the website if you haven't already. I've got a couple more new products up there since last time we talked. Since last time we had a discussion. Alright, let's go. Just running some metal through the bender, getting that frame bent up in the shape that I want. Hey guys, I am so sorry for the interruption, but if you could you click that subscribe button for me? Also, turn on your bell notifications. That way you catch all the content as I post it. And if you want to check out anything early, head over to my Instagram. I post things there probably quicker than you're going to see them here. Thanks guys. And like you guys seen me do before, just shaping the metal, just cutting these excess ends off of there. Still can't believe how much metal you lose on these. And here guys, if you missed the tubing notching video that I did, I'll link that in the description for you showing how I use this tool. I did go ahead and MIG this entire frame. I forgot how fast it was to use the MIG welder over trying to TIG everything. Right here, just getting that bottom lower post on. There's real complicated angles here, so you got to spend some time on this, just grinding and fitting, and just keep going back and forth until you get it to fit. You want a nice tight fit on that. Just using some 1-inch tubing here to kind of tie it down to the table and keep anything from moving as I'm loading. That doesn't sound like I'm frying bacon. I don't know what does. Alright, with that taking about a total of 2 hours, this is where we're going to leave off for today. We're going to go hang out with the family. It's 4th of July and all that stuff. So we're going to go jump in the pool. See the pool? Pool. Yeah. Anyway, that was pretty productive. Like I said, guys, let me know if this works for you. Do you like me to go ahead and time lapse the entire thing and then not really talk much? Or do you want explanations as I go? Help me out with that a little bit because I know everybody's different. I'll take the majority. If I don't have to talk, that'd be awesome. This very basic setup. Seat will pop up out of here off of another post and it'll sit up in this area here. Bottom, you get the gist. Probably straight, curved, super simple, easy to do, and we'll get back on it tomorrow. Alright guys, we are into day 2. So, like I said, I'm going to try to finish this build all in one episode, and stay tuned till the end because what I'm going to do is I'm keeping time. I'm timing everything that I'm doing, and I'm kind of keeping track of on my phone, clocking in and clocking out. So I want to see how fast can I get this thing done. So stay tuned till the end, and I'm going to post the time. Let's go. Alright, it's a new day here. We are back using the metal glue gun. Like I said, guys, way faster than TIG welding. Not going to be as pretty, not going to be as cleaned, but my MIG welding has come a long way since I have learned how to TIG. Right here, I'm just placing the wheel. I want to know where the dropouts are going to be, how much seat room I have. It's really good to have that visual so that you know what's going to happen before you do it. Because of the speed of this frame, I'm not going to get too much into the final metal finishing, but I do like to grind off all the ends to make them nice, sharp to a point. Alright, we're getting working on the seat post. I'm just laying some 1.25 inches down as the first part of the seat post. And now we're going to make a gusset. Because of the way that seat post hangs off, I want to make sure that it's nice and strong and gives plenty of rigidity so that the seat can't move, or maybe later on down the line with a constant bending back and forth that something could snap or come off. Alright, started burning in the gusset. Again, nice and easy because we're just MIG welding it on. Glue gun. Alright, just cutting this thing to length. I'm going to actually take the seat post and I'm going to use some 1 inch that will go inside of the 1.25 inches, because that's also what's going to hold the actual seat post, which is just some 7/8 round tube. Alright guys, so that's day 2 in the books. I only put in probably about an hour to an hour and a half today, but it's looking pretty good. Seat's done. I added that gusset there just because the way the seat hangs off, it's going to add a lot of pressure there. The wheel is going to sit right about here, which I'm super excited about that look. That's going to give it a great look. So hopefully tomorrow, day 3, maybe we can start getting it really wrapped up. We're going to do the seat stay, chain stay, and I think I'm going to add a center bar coming off of here, like that. Kind of giving it, so it gives it that effect like it just went. You know what I mean? I'm going to call it a night, guys. You know what, I wanted to leave you with a little something that I heard the other day, and it kind of stuck with me. And because a lot of people ask me, like, how do you know how to do this stuff? How do you do it? It's not that you know how to do it, you just can't be scared to mess it up. Alright, y'all have a good night. Alright guys, we are on day number 3. Getting close. I've already got the lower chain stay bent up. And this frame, because the back wheel is going to be relatively close to the seat, and that kicked back so far that it's not going to take much. So I'm actually going to be able to use the top and the bottom, probably going to be able to use just one piece. So that's good, save some money on metal, and that way I can go ahead and make some bars for this too. So enough chit chat, let's get going. The funny part is, as soon as I said that, I actually cut one of the pieces in the wrong direction and made it too short. So I ended up having to use 2 pieces for the top and only 1 piece for the bottom. Alright guys, I definitely did not get as much done tonight as I had hoped. I just got started really late, had a lot going on. So I did get the lower chain stays. This one's ready to go, it just needs to be capped. And then I got the other one sitting over there waiting to also be trimmed and capped. And then you'll see kind of where that's going. Just getting it a little bit, just giving it that kind of lower look, but I really like the back end. You can see sticking out really far, so that's gonna give a cool effect once the wheel is on. And then here we got this, and I'm thinking I'm probably gonna do a swoop up into here. And then I'll do it like I did on the last frame where I capped it off and touched it here, since that lower bar is gonna go so much lower. But I think that's gonna look super cool. But again, yeah, not as much done today. Calling it a night. Alright guys, so we are in day 4. This should, if all goes well, wrap up this series, I'm hoping. We went ahead, knocked out the bottom, we're going to knock out the top, put in the bottom bracket, and put it on the floor. So let's get going. Alright, we're getting into the final day of this build. It was nice and quick. We're just adding the cap plates to the lower chain stays, getting everything ground down nice and clean, and getting it tacked to the frame. Small tech tip for you guys: once you've got the lower chain stays on and you've got them in place, either tacked or fully welded in, you can go ahead and do the bottom bracket now, because the frame shouldn't move anywhere. And speaking of bottom bracket, it is go time. Here we're jumping right into those upper chain stays. They just had a really nice little swoop, nothing too crazy, probably not as much of a bend as the bottom ones did, but it flowed really, really well. So just like the last frame, I went ahead and I went with a front mount situation kind of there on the lower part of the frame. Makes it a little easier to weld on, a little easier to get an angle, and it kind of looks cool having that diamond point up front. This right here, guys, is how I won my wife over. Just kidding. Didn't know the camera was on, listening to some music, getting down with my bad self, and bending some tube. Alright, just a quick break from the time lapse there. I'm adding this little center section now. I think it looks pretty cool. Try to tie it in with the seat post so that it will touch here and come across. That's got to get welded in. And then after this, all I got to do is flip it over, get all the finish welding done, and she's done. And then we're going to calculate how long this frame took me. Getting the center support tube welded into place, and I think it looks pretty awesome. I was really happy with the bend and how it tied into the seat post. As you guys know, I don't have a rotisserie jig yet, so here I'm just flipping the frame over so that I can finish weld everything on the bottom that I can't get to while it's in the frame. Alright guys, so before I show you the finished product, I want to go over the amount of time it took. Now this, of course, is probably a little bit faster just because I wasn't talking as much and we just did a lot of time lapse, and it honestly just makes everything easier. But let's go over it. So I started last week. I put in so I worked every day except for Friday. So we put in 57 minutes one day, 29 minutes another, an hour 17 minutes one day, 2 hours and 51 minutes the next day, and then today we probably put in the most time, which was 3 hours and 23 minutes. Now we're going to calculate that, being that I charge $80 an hour for welding services. So let's just put that into a frame aspect, that if I'm charging $80 an hour, not including material, not including your gas and your cutting wheels and your flat discs and all that, we put in 8 hours and 57 minutes on this frame, and that is $716 just in your time, just in fabrication. So you figure you got another, I think I count my square tube frames in full on material cost, and this is actual cost, not wholesale, anything I don't get my metal wholesale. You're going to cost you to build a square tube frame is about $250, give or take. You got to count your head tubes, your bottom bracket, your dropouts, and so on. So you're anywhere from $250 to $300 just in material costs for the square tube frame. So now if we're at $716, and we're going to do our 700 and we're just going to say 300 right off the bat, you're at a frame cost of $1,000. Now, I usually start my frames at $850 depending on what I've done to them. What this is telling me is I've been undercharging them, and that's okay. When it comes to a bike frame, there's some cuts here and there that I can do, especially because I really truly enjoy doing this. So I can take a little bit of a cut on it. If I'm doing any kind of welding work, it's usually just to make an extra buck, and I don't really want to do it anyway, but I'm going to do it kind of a thing. It's not fun. So doing a bike, I can take a small pay cut on that, and we're going to run it, and we're going to say that let's do the math on the time frame and see exactly what I'm making per hour if I only charged $850. Okay, so if I'm going to take the $850 for the frame, I'm going to subtract the cost of material, leaves me with roughly $600 left, what would be considered basically profit, but you're going to charge yourself hourly. So I'd be making about $67 an hour instead of the $80 that I normally charge. I'm okay with that. Anywhere from, $60 to $70 to $80 an hour should be pretty spot on. Considering that back in the day when I first started doing frames, I was probably losing money because I was only selling frames for like $500. So yeah, do the math there. Anyway, I'm gonna quit talking, guys. Remember, check out the website if you can. We got up hats, socks, shirts. We've got a bunch of extra stuff up there, other products. Site's moving a little slow. It's expected, but if you guys can help me out, it does help support the channel, and I can continue making these things for you guys to watch, and I don't have to worry about having customers pre-ordering them. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys show the frame. There's the website if you need it. It's in the comment section below also. You can click on it, but enough chit-chat. Let's go check out the frame.